My name is Hannah, and this is my no-buy year. Do you want to see the cutest, sleepiest, fuzziest thing in history? Yeah. She just woke up from a nap. Today I'm going to share my highlighter collection with you. This is another video in the What I'm Starting With series. So what I'm starting with for highlighters is also presumably what I'm ending with because I'm not buying any new highlighters this year. It's my no-buy year, if you don't already know. I'm not buying any makeup this year.
My no-buy year, my highlighter collection.
And I'll be surprised if I pan or use up any highlighters this year because I have so many. A little highlighter goes a long way. Some of the really tiny liquid highlighter samples that I have could be in trouble. Rather than what I'm starting with, it's like what I'm dealing with, what I'm highlighting with. I'm gonna go straight through. I'm not gonna swatch very many of them because I have a lot of highlighters and we will be here for hours and hours. I will try to give a quick mini review of each one. If you'd like to know more about any of them, just ask me down below. I respond to all my comments and I will respond to you. I'm not going in any particular order, I'm just grabbing them randomly off the top of the pile. This is Pixie's collaboration with Aspen Novart and it's the really, really pale one. I got it because I'm really, really pale, but the silver reflect in this is super intense and I find that when I put it on my face, unless I sheer it out quite a lot, I get this kind of bar of silver, stripe of silver on my face when I'm looking straight ahead. It looks a little gray. So I like this a lot, it's intense, but I don't reach for it that often for that reason. I'm always kind of on the hunt for a highlighter that sits invisibly on me, that just catches the light when you turn. This isn't it, but I like it and I'm glad I have it in my collection. The Wet n Wild Mega Glow Illuminating Palette Éclairage. I got this at the drugstore because look at it. If I swirl these all together, I get a blush. It's not a highlight for me, obviously, if I swirl them all together because these darker ones are pretty pigmented, these ones on the side. This is also quite glittery. This is a glittery highlight. I usually only use it if I'm going out at night and I'm gonna be like in the dark under lights, but I like this a lot. I like the Wet n Wild powder formulas. I find them to be very pigmented no matter what the product. Here is a little ColorPop palette. That's the highlight, obviously. This is like a blush on this side. This is a great highlight. It's very bright. It's pinkish, it's blinding, it's intense. It's like I only reach for this if I want my highlight to be a visible part of my makeup. Like you can see it on my skin. Sometimes I do want that rather than wanting something to totally melt into the skin, but especially on me because I am so pale and this is kind of like a rosy, peachy highlight, almost like a blushy highlight. I haven't reached for it as much because honestly because it's so pigmented and I tend to kind of go for cheek products, highlights or blushes that can be sheared out. So I should put this like in my everyday makeup drawer and start using it more. There's one highlight in this NARS cheek palette. It's this one in the corner right here. It is called Takeover. And it's like a white gold. So it gives a gold reflect. I really like having this because I don't have very many highlights that have a gold shift to them. So when I'm looking for that or if I'm doing sort of a bronzy goldy look, sometimes I'll reach for this highlight. In this little palette, I have the ColorPop single Here Kitty Kitty. It's a little bit on the peachier side, but this is, for me, this is pretty much a nude highlight. This is the kind of thing I'll reach for on the everyday. Because if I put it on my bare skin, it's kind of undetectable except for its shimmer. If you build it up, if I build it up, it becomes more like a product on my skin, and sometimes I do that. This is a highlight I'm wearing today, actually. I have it on my cheeks, I have it on my nose, bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, and I also have it on my décolletage and my shoulder. And in the monitor, it looks like it's glowing. So hopefully you can see how well that performs because I am demonstrating it with my whole body. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit. Back in the day, all I wanted was a purple highlighter. All I wanted was a purple highlighter. I just wanted to glow like an otherworldly being when I went out dancing tango at night. It's interesting, it was like right at the beginning of the trend when the options were this and Well, it wasn't the beginning of the trend. The two things I was looking at were this and the Alchemist palette by Kat Von D. So the trend had just been gathering steam for a while. From what I could tell from looking at swatches online, what I wanted was Purple Horseshoe, this really purpley one up here. So I got it, I started using it, and I'm so pale that it really reads like gray on me. Like, unless I'm going into a tango event where the lights are really low and all you're gonna catch is that flash of color, if I wear Purple Horseshoe, I look like I've put gray makeup on my face, and it just doesn't work out that well. I have had occasion to wear it when I'm going into dark, sort of sexy lighting types of events, and maybe also because I'm so pale, but maybe also because it's a beautiful product, I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. Like when I'm going into an environment where I can wear Purple Horseshoe, people are like, whoa, what's on your face? And I'm like, I know. But the one that I reach for without fail if I'm looking for an iridescent colorful highlight and I'm reaching for this palette is Pink Heart. This one. I do look somewhat fairy-like in it because it is an iridescent and color shifting pink, but I don't look ill. Purple Horseshoe can make me look ill, unfortunately. I ordered, when everyone was raving about it, the Sleek Makeup, wow, I can't believe the brush is still here, the Solstice highlighting palette. I remember this was really big last year. It was near the beginning of when I was getting super obsessed with YouTube and super obsessed with makeup. I got a lot of good use out of that palette. And then as I started to expand my understanding of the way that highlighters work, I realized that similar to the Aspen Novard one, silver is the color of reflect that they've put in there. So if I put on more than just a really thin buffed out layer of it, if I build it up so that I'm really glowing to the gods, to outer space, etc., it reads as like gray. It reads as gray on my cheek from some angles. And again, I think this has to do with the fact that I'm so pale. I've drifted away from using that palette as much because these days I'm usually looking for a highlight that's going to really melt into my skin and make it look like my actual skin is glowing rather than make it look like I have a glowy product sitting on top of my skin. Speaking of products that melt into the skin and make it look like your actual skin is glowing, this beauty. This is a NARS highlight and bronzer palette. This is the Bord de Plage, that's what it's called, and the highlights are Rivage, Crique, Corniche, and Gallet, and they are probably the most elegant, the most high-end looking and feeling highlighters that I own. They give me that natural but blinding glow. So they really, really glow. It doesn't look like you're just a bit dewy from a quick run. It's highlighter. It's highlighter. But they do melt into the skin. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous formula. When is NARS gonna come out with individual highlighters? Like, I feel like if these four were each sold as like a big pan, like their blushes, they would fly off the shelves. I expect they're gonna do it any day now. I expect it because I think they've pretty much perfected their highlight formula with this go round. It's like when they updated their bronzers to the Bake Gelée formula, a slightly more diffuse sheer version of what their bronzers were. They made highlighters kind of along the same vein, and they're just stunning. And I think so far you've only been able to get them in this palette or in that little 3-pan palette that preceded this one. Okay, so I've got 3 ColorPop Super Shock cheeks. I really, really, really love these. These I might swatch. These I might swatch. So of course I have Flexitarian, which is the one that, it's the most blinding highlight that I have. It is like a spot or a patch of silver, but it's not that like silver that shows gray from the side. It's like a sheer blinding silver. So here's a finger swatch. Lunch Money, which is kind of like it's like the quieter and more elegant sister to Flexitarian. So it does the same thing, it serves the same purpose, but when I put it on, it's invisible except for the glow, it's like a soft gold glow. So it's really interesting. When I take Flexitarian and I dab it on, you can see it. You could like see where I'm dabbing and where I'm buffing. But when I take Lunch Money and I dab it on, you can't see anything. It looks like I'm putting nothing on unless I turn and see the reflect. And that's kind of like my dream everyday highlight. It's like a soft, soft gold. There's the finger swatch. And here it is next to Flexitarian. So it also looks pretty blinding in the swatch, but you can see that it's more gold than silver, and it's a little softer. And then the third one I have is Spoon. It's beige. It's a soft, pale beige. But the other thing about it is that it has glitter in it. And I love me some glitter. I even love it in a highlight. So there's the finger swatch, and I'm popping it right here next to Lunch Money. So you can see how it's more, it's just a little bit rosier next to the gold of Lunch Money. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's got teeny micro glitters in it. I usually wear it when I'm going out dancing, going out at night, and I just want to have that kind of slightly whimsical fairy-like glow. But sometimes I wear Spoon during the day too, and sometimes I wear it on my lids. So I've got one of the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powders. Drat, I don't have the, I think I have Precious Petal. I think Precious Petals is the one that I have. And it's nice. It's nice. It's a little, it's not that it's dark on me, like I can wear it. Highlighters that I have that are really too dark for me, I can wear them as kind of blush toppers, but I don't put them on like my nose and Cupid's bow. I can put this on my nose and Cupid's bow. It gives me a bit of a rosy flush. You know, it's nice. It's just that compared to a lot of what else I have, it's not the most refined highlighter, so I don't find myself reaching for it all that often. I have the much talked about Essence Pure Nude highlighter. People are always saying, oh, it's an all-over face powder. It's sort of a dupe for the ambient lighting powders from Hourglass. But girl, no. Like, I can't put this all over my face or I would really look quite shiny. What it is to me is a subtler but still glowy cheek, nose, and Cupid's bow highlight. Like, I wouldn't be glowing like this if I had this on. It would be a less detectable glow. I'd be glowing, but it would look a little bit more like I'm just a really glowy person and a little bit less like I'm a person who went ham with some highlighter. And for that reason, I really like this, especially if I want to look sophisticated, if I'm going to a meeting or an event or something where I don't want to look like a girl who wears a lot of makeup, but I definitely want to glow, or if I'm wearing kind of minimal other makeup and I want the skin to be the thing, but I want a powder, then I'll go for the Essence Nude. It's a really pretty project, it's a really pretty product and at a great price point. So we're getting down to the creams and the powders. They've all sunk to the bottom. I have this Clinique Chubby Stick Sculpting Highlighter. It's like a little, this was a Sephora Point Prick at one point, I think. Okay, so the color is 01 Hefty Highlight. It sounds like they have other colors too. It is kind of hefty. The thing I like about this is that even though it's a stick cream product that you draw on, it dries down to a powder. It doesn't stay sticky all day, and I really like that. It is kind of hefty. It has that silver glow. It's more of a bright white silver than something like the Pixie one, so it doesn't show up as a streak on my face, but it definitely shows up as a highlight on my face. It's weird. In spite of it being Clinique and in spite of it being like a cream stick formula, it's not subtle. And I like it because I like applying it, but I don't reach for it that often. In a similar vein, I have the Glossier Haloscope in Moonstone. This is a product that I struggle with because I love how it looks, but I don't like the finish. Meaning that unlike the Clinique Chubby Stick, it stays tacky on me all day, and it's because it's the way that it's designed. It has around the rim of the highlighter is the glimmery stuff, and then it has a core of just a vitamin E balm down the middle of it, so it looks like a little circle with a dot if you look at the stick head on. And that's like a good idea in theory, that you're putting vitamin E, you're putting skincare on your skin, and that vitamin E oil mixes with the glossy stuff and makes it glossier, makes it glossier. It's like putting lip balm on your face. And if you have like a pixie haircut and really natural, flawless skin and all you're doing is throwing this on and going, and you're okay with having an actual dewy face, meaning that there's like physical sticky dewiness on your face, then this is probably the best thing in history. But for me, my hair sticks to it, I touch my face and it gets off on my fingers. But the thing I love about the look is that it's sheer. It's like this really glossy, not glittery, but super sheer, super invisible from any angle except for when the light's hitting it. They totally nailed it with that part of it. But that might be because it has like this oil balm mixed in with it that's shearing it out, but that's the part that makes it sticky. So I keep this around because I'm tempted to reach for it every once in a while when I really want that like super natural, dewy, glowy look. And then every time I do it, I like regret it partway through the day. TBH. This, on the other hand, okay, so this is the Milk Makeup, really, really tiny little mini size of the Milk Makeup glitter. What's it called? It's just called Glitter Stick. Milk Makeup Glitter Stick in Techno. And this I will swatch for you actually because I'm intrigued. I mean, who wouldn't be? I don't know if you can see it. So right there, it's there. It's like a glitter infused glue stick. And the glitter actually is holographic. It's got like a rainbow flash to it. You are genuinely gluing glitter onto your face. So if you don't like glitter on your face, don't get this. But if you do like glitter on your face and you've been wanting to find a way to apply like an actual thick layer of actual, you know, sheer highlight with suspensions of glitter in it, which is the thing that, as you can probably tell from having watched this bar, I'm into, this is a great thing to have. I don't use it very often, but there's definitely a place for it in my makeup drawer, and I really enjoy it. I really like it. And every time I'm going to a dance or an event where this is appropriate to wear, I'm like, oh, I got to wear my glitter highlight, my milk glitter highlight. I can really see it on my hand. I don't know if you could really see it. Maybe that gave you a better look. Okay, so this is a L'Oreal True Match Lumi Liquid Glow Highlighter. I've only worn this once and it did something weird and patchy on my skin, but it might have been another product that I was wearing that day, and so I need to test it out again. And every time I've reached for it, I've thought, oh, but what if it was this product that got patchy on my skin? I don't want to ruin my makeup today. So I've been basically afraid to test this again, but I will do it soon and I will let you guys know how it goes. If you've tried this, let me know. It didn't start flaking off, but it was like patchy and weird. You could really see it sitting on my skin, like it made a weird layer and then it started breaking apart. We're getting down to my little babies. They're little, but they're my babies. Well, maybe not this one so much. So this was a Sephora Point Perk. It's a Tartist Glow. It's basically a very sheer, very subtle glitter, and it's like two in between for me. If I want glitter, I'm going to use the glitter stick, or I'm going to use Spoon, the ColorPop highlighter. And if I want a natural sheer glow, I'm not going to reach for this because it has glitter in it. So it kind of sits around. It's just little, but I haven't used it up yet. This was another Point Perk of the Naked Skin Highlighting Fluid from Urban Decay, and this I love. If it wasn't my No by Year, this I might run out and get a full size of, because it really gives that super sheer, wet look on my skin. The color of this one is Sin, and it's the right color for me for it not to show up and make a stripe or a streak on my face. The other thing that I have that is like the love of my life, this is probably my all-time favorite highlighter right now. It's the Becca Moonstone Shimmering Skin Perfector Spotlight. These two perform very similarly. The Spotlight from Becca and the liquid highlighter from Urban Decay. Sin is a little more of a peachy beige, and the Becca one, Moonstone, is a little bit more of a gold, a little more warm. But when they're sheared out, they perform really similarly. I tend towards the warm because I am actually warm. I'm a very, very pale, warm-toned person. But really, there's almost no difference for me when they're sheared out. Someone's using a buzz saw. I hope that it's not ruining my video. And lastly in here, I have another little Point Perk sample of the Cover FX custom enhancer drops in Moonlight, and I love this. I love these guys. All these little liquids, like I reach for them maybe the most, right? No, that can't be. Maybe half and half. But it's interesting. I've got all of these powder highlighters, and then I've got these little tiny sample sizes of these liquids, and I reach for them equally as often, but they're not used up. They're not even getting close to being used up because a little goes such a long way with those. So we'll see. Those are the things that I'm most likely to pan this year, to use up. Those little guys might show up in empties in a couple of months because especially lately, I've been loving them. I don't have my Fenty Kilowatt. I don't know where it is. Let me see if I can find it. This is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Mega Glow. What am I talking about? Freestyle Highlighter Duo. Why are there so many words in the title of like everything? The Fenty Beauty. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a person on YouTube, and I'm gonna say the thing. This is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo in Lightning Dust Fire Crystal. Here's what it looks like. I've totally busted it. As you can tell, I have gone in on this. This is probably my most reached for highlighter since I bought it. So since the Fenty launch, whenever that was in the fall. If I build up Fire Crystal, the glittery one, too much on my skin, I will get that gray stripe, but I usually don't have this problem with this. So out of this entire collection, my most reached for highlighters are Fenty Beauty Lightning Dust Fire Crystal, Becca Moonstone Spotlight Liquid, and my ColorPop shadows in Flexitarian and Lunch Money. So if you have very pale skin with a warm undertone and you're looking for kind of like an invisible but very glowy highlight, those are the 4 that I recommend above all of them. We did it. I think I have enough, don't you? Don't you think I have enough? And yet, it's one of the things that I want the most. Like when I see a new highlighter coming out, I'm like, I need that one. I need the glow. How can I glow if I don't buy the new ColorPop highlighting palette? How can I glow if I don't buy the Amrezy collaboration? It's absurd, and those feelings are still coming. I can't lie and say that they're not, but they are brought up very short by things like looking at my entire highlighter collection and examining the breadth and diversity of the highlighters that I have, and realizing that there are things like, you know, like my ColorPop, this pretty much untouched but stunning ColorPop duo that I wish I reached for more. Doing a survey of part of my collection like this really helps me to remember and to learn on deeper and deeper levels that I already have enough. And it helps me remember that I truly don't need any of the new highlighters, beautiful new highlighters that companies are releasing at a rapid rate of speed in 2018. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please comment your favorite highlighter down below that you own. I want to know what your favorite highlighter is. Even though if I don't have it, I can't buy it, I still want to know your favorite highlighter and why. Please share this video with anyone who likes highlighters or with anyone who you think might be interested in my no-buy year. And as always, take extra good care of yourself this week, because that is what will make you the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.
My no-buy year, my no-buy year, my highlighter collection.